7 safe fruits for insulin resistance that won't spike blood glucose. Did you know that many people, once diagnosed with insulin resistance or prediabetes, are immediately advised to cut out fruit completely because of its natural sugar content? The truth, however, is far more nuanced. Not all fruits cause sharp spikes in blood sugar. In fact, certain types can actually help improve insulin sensitivity if you choose wisely and consume them properly. When you eat whole fruits with their natural fiber and water content paired thoughtfully with protein or healthy fats, they can be not only safe but also significantly more beneficial than fruit juice or dried fruit. Why fruit is so often misunderstood. For a long time, fruit has carried an undeserved bad reputation. Many people hear the words natural sugar and immediately place it on the forbidden list. They assume that the fructose and glucose in fruit are just as harmful as spoonfuls of refined white sugar. Yet the truth is far more nuanced. When you eat fresh fruit, you are not only consuming sugar but also abundant fiber and natural water. Together, these act like a safety brake, slowing the release of sugar and preventing sharp spikes in blood glucose. By contrast, when fruit is dried or turned into juice, much of that fiber's protective magic disappears. What remains is concentrated sugar that can flow quickly into the bloodstream, causing the very spikes that people with insulin resistance fear. This is why it's misleading to assume that all sugar is automatically harmful. The body responds not just to the grams of sugar consumed, but also to the form in which it's eaten and how it's paired with other foods. A crisp apple eaten with its skin, a juicy wedge of grapefruit, or a refreshing bowl of fresh berries is more than just energy. It is also a source of essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. All of these can support health, provided fruit is eaten in the right way. The key lesson is a shift in perspective. Instead of treating fruit as the culprit, we should view it as an ally, one to be enjoyed with smart choices, thoughtful combinations, and the patience to listen to our bodies. 7 fruits that are safe for people with insulin resistance. When it comes to fruit, many people with insulin resistance hesitate, fearing sudden spikes in blood sugar. In reality, there are certain fruits that are not only delicious and safe but can also support the body in managing insulin more effectively. Strawberries are a prime example. With only about 7 grams of sugar per cup and packed with fiber, they are a gentle choice for blood sugar levels. Eaten alone, they may cause a mild increase, but when paired with Greek yogurt, the risk of a spike is nearly eliminated. Kiwis are naturally sweet yet have a low glycemic index. They are rich in vitamin C and contain the enzyme actinidin, which aids digestion. Each kiwi has only about 6 grams of sugar, just enough to satisfy with a light, refreshing sweetness without placing a heavy burden on blood glucose. Surprisingly, olives are also classified as fruit. They contain virtually no carbohydrates but are rich in monounsaturated fats, which help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. Just 8 to 10 olives can be sufficient. Grapefruit is another noteworthy option, provided it is eaten as whole segments rather than as juice. It delivers antioxidants, vitamin C, and maintains a low glycemic index. Green Granny Smith apples stand out for having less sugar than red apples. They are also rich in pectin and polyphenols, both of which support gut health. Half of a small apple paired with nut butter or cheese makes for a tasty and safe combination. Avocados could be considered champions. High in fiber, filled with healthy fats, and containing virtually no sugar. They help stabilize blood sugar responses across the entire meal. Lastly, blackberries deserve attention. Among berries, they contain the highest amount of fiber, are rich in anti-inflammatory polyphenols, and are naturally low in sugar, making them an easy, healthy snack. Together, these 7 fruits prove that living with insulin resistance does not mean saying farewell to fruit. On the contrary, with the right choices, fruit can become a valuable ally in maintaining balance and health. The best ways to eat fruit. Eating fruit wisely is not only about choosing the right type, it is also about how you combine it and when you Consume it. Many people forget that fruit can become a true ally when paired with protein or healthy fats. A cup of unsweetened yogurt, a few almonds, or a small piece of cheese can act like a key, slowing down sugar absorption and preventing the body from reacting with sudden, alarming blood sugar spikes. Timing matters just as much. When you eat fruit before or after physical activity, your body quickly uses that natural sugar as fuel. Think of it as adding a bit of gasoline to a car that has just been on a long drive. Fuel is replenished promptly, without the risk of overflow. The lesson here is that fruit is not always best consumed at any random time. The key is to choose moments when the body can process it most efficiently. Portion control remains the golden rule. Start with half a cup or a small piece of fruit, then observe how your body responds. If your levels remain stable, you may increase slightly, but never to excess. Even safe fruits can have an impact if eaten without moderation. And one final principle: avoid processed forms such as fruit juice or dried fruit. Once fiber is removed, sugar becomes free sugar, rushing directly into the bloodstream and creating the very glucose surges no one wants. Eating fruit intelligently transforms it into a reward for health, not a constant source of worry. Additional helpful insights: when it comes to fruit, many discussions stop at the question, which types are good and which are bad? In reality, the truth is far richer and more interesting. Blueberries and red raspberries, for example, also hold potential as safe choices. Yet personal verification is essential, since every body reacts differently. One often overlooked factor is ripeness. The sweeter and softer a fruit becomes, the higher its glycemic index and the greater the risk of a spike. This means that a banana that is just ripe may be far safer than one that is overly ripe. Fruit should never be viewed in isolation from the rest of the meal. An apple eaten alone produces a very different response compared to the same apple paired with almond butter or cheese. Smart combinations allow the body to absorb natural sugars in balance, preventing the fatigue that can follow sharp fluctuations in blood glucose. This highlights an important truth. The issue does not lie with fruit itself, but with how we combine it and the context in which it is consumed. Today, the rise of glucose monitoring devices has sparked a small revolution in personalized nutrition. Instead of relying on generalized advice, individuals can now observe their own body's responses to each type of fruit, each level of ripeness, and each combination. This tool removes the guesswork, allowing you to design a diet as tailored as a custom-made suit precisely fitted to your own health and needs. Practical illustrations. In the world of nutrition, small examples often carry powerful lessons. Take the familiar case of strawberries. Eaten on their own, they cause a mild rise in blood glucose enough to register on a chart. Yet when paired with a cup of unsweetened yogurt, the response is nearly flat. The body receives the sweetness without fear. This is clear proof that thoughtful combinations can transform the very same fruit into an entirely different experience. With avocados, the effect is even more striking. Many people enjoy bread with sweet jam, only to face a sharp glucose spike right after breakfast. But when half an avocado is added, blood sugar levels decline noticeably, leaving one feeling satisfied and comfortable. The healthy fats in avocado act like a shield, protecting the body from a surge of blood sugar. They not only enrich the flavor of the meal but also remind us that a simple addition can change the entire health outcome. Kiwi offers another valuable lesson. When eaten on an empty stomach, it may cause fatigue as blood sugar rises quickly and then falls just as fast. Yet when paired with a few nuts after a main meal, it becomes a source of stable energy and essential vitamins. All of these examples reveal one truth: fruit is never just fruit. It interacts with timing, with how we eat it, and with what we pair it. Understanding this allows each of us to turn everyday meals into tools for balanced blood sugar, practical, effective, and even joyful. Conclusion. Key takeaways. The conclusion is where we pause to reflect and distill simple truths that have the power to reshape daily habits. For those with insulin resistance, fruit should not be seen as strictly off-limits. The real issue is not whether you eat fruit, but how you choose and enjoy it. Begin with varieties that have a low glycemic index, are rich in fiber, and consume them in their whole form. This is the key to keeping blood sugar levels smoother and more stable. Pairing fruit wisely with protein or healthy fats helps slow the absorption of sugar, preventing sudden spikes. Eating fruit close to times of physical activity provides even greater benefit, as the body immediately uses the sugar as fuel rather than allowing it to circulate in the bloodstream. Still, portion size must never be overlooked. Even the safest fruits can become a burden if consumed excessively. Another essential principle is to avoid fruit juices and dried fruit. Once fiber is stripped away, sugar is unleashed, rushing directly into the bloodstream and causing disruptive swings. Modern tools like glucose monitors or even regular blood tests offer invaluable insights, allowing each individual to adjust with precision. Every body is like its own piece of music. One person may tolerate a whole small apple, while another may need to stop at half. These differences serve as a reminder that nutrition does not follow a fixed formula. What matters most is patience, attentive listening, and thoughtful adjustments to discover the path that fits you best. Thank you so much for staying with Health 247 until the very end. Your support and attention are what inspire us to continue bringing you meaningful and useful content. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with your loved ones, and don't forget to subscribe to Health 247 so you won't miss our newest videos. We wish you health, peace, and happiness with your family.